Mental issues.
Okay.
For example, in California, and I'm in the middle of litigating one of these right now, and I've litigated one in the past. There's a process in California for an involuntary 72-hour mental health hold.
Yeah.
Basically, a cop comes out to your house.
What's that, a 5150?
5150. Welfare and Institutions Code. You can look it up. Go into Google, type in Welfare and Institutions 5150. You read all about it. A cop comes out to your house or gets you on the street, and he thinks that you're not doing so well mentally. They can take you to the county mental health center, and they can hold you for 72 hours. Doesn't have to be a case filed against you. Just need a doctor to say, yeah, you know what? He would benefit from a 72-hour hold.
What's the what are the conditions under which the cop can do those?
If he believes that you're not capable of taking care of yourself and you're having a mental issue that makes you incapable of taking care of yourself.
Now, is that a subjective...
Or a danger to yourself or others.
Is that a subjective assessment, or is there a checklist where the cop has to...
Completely subjective.
Okay.
But when they get to the county mental health facility, they do a more detailed evaluation because, I mean, they're subject to liability, as the cop is. They do a more detailed evaluation to see if you're currently a danger to yourself or others. But it can be simple. It can be as simple as suicidal ideation.
Okay.
In fact, I've had a case where somebody who at work told his boss that they were suicidal. Boss called county mental health, and they got locked up for 3 days.
Okay.
It's a very broad statute that is used selectively, fortunately. I don't see it being misused, but it is susceptible to being misused.
Yeah, sure.
And so you get locked up for 3 days, and that's it. No criminal charges, no anything. Well, you have a 5-year prohibition in California.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. How long is the prohibition?
And in fact, if you have a 5150 with a prior, that's a lifetime prohibition. So 2 5150s get you a lifetime prohibition.
Okay.
Now, there's a process in California, again, if you want to look it up, Welfare and Institutions Code 8103 F6. You can look it up. Which says that you have a right to petition a judge to restore your firearms rights. So I've done a couple of those.
And are those pretty easy, straightforward, or convoluted?
Well, the standard of proof is that the prosecutor has to prove that you can't operate firearms in a safe manner. That's the standard.
Okay, that's a pretty low threshold.
But the prosecutor only has to prove that by preponderance of the evidence, 50.1%. So it's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not clear and convincing evidence. It's a middle of the road standard. And what it becomes is, can you make the judge comfortable that you're not going to kill yourself or somebody else? So I'll give you your gun back if I feel comfortable you're not going to kill yourself or somebody else. And so it's not really about the legal standard. It's about making the judge feel good. And so generally what I do in those cases is I've got to bring in family members. We're okay with them having a gun. We've seen nothing. This was impulsive. This was something other than what you believe it to be. Yes, they had the 72-hour hold. They'd never been on medication. They have no mental health history. I usually bring in an independent third-party psychologist or psychiatrist to do a report and say, based on my report, I don't think they have a mental health diagnosis. I just think this was impulsive, and I have no trouble with them believing that they're going to be a danger to themselves or others.
Okay.
So, but it can get complicated. And again, I'm pricey. So it's going to cost you money. Here's a plug. Not for an individual, but for a group of individuals. You really, really need CCW insurance or gun insurance, even if you're not a CCW holder. Go to one of the companies that provide insurance because they provide coverage. Some of the companies provide coverage for those issues.
For 5150s too?
Yes.
Interesting, because that is not a self-defense type of scenario,
Find a company and say, do you provide coverage for this? And I know the biggest company, USCCA, does. I'm not sure about the less well-known companies, but I would check their coverage. If you have a gun in your house or if you have a gun on your hip, you absolutely need some form of insurance. I don't care who you buy somebody, understand what you're getting from them.
That's a separate topic that I want to talk to you again about in a separate episode. Provide resources for new gun owners, be they immigrants or not, But I think that's important to talk about. We need to talk about that again.
Big deal.
Yeah.
All right, so 5150s. Have you ever been adjudicated a mental defective? I mean, that's a really high bar. Basically, has a court ever, not a cop off the street putting you in for a 72-hour hold, has a cop ever forced you to be committed?
You mean a judge?
Sorry, a judge.
Yeah.
Has a judge ever forced you to be committed?
Okay.
And if that's true, you're a prohibited person.
Okay.
But again, that's a really high bar for a very narrow group of people.
Okay.